Today on the channel, the San Diego Comic-Con 2026 WWE Mattel figure set has been announced, and in today's video, we're going to break it all down.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, back again with a little late breaking news update video. In today's video, oh my, officially announced today, June 17th, 2026, it's the brand new San Diego Comic-Con WWE Mattel exclusive, and it's a 3-pack, of course, for fans of wrestling in the 80s, dare I say the rock and wrestling era, maybe Roddy Piper fans. Well, this one's for you. We got Cyndi Lauper, we got Captain Lou Albano, and we got the Rowdy one, Roddy Piper, in a 3-pack. Now, the last couple of days on the channel, I've done Mattel Reveals videos, and I think both of those videos, plus my traditional Saturday toy news, I said we got to be getting close to the announcement for the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, and this year, there was no leaks. On the old black internet, black market for action figures, Todd McFarlane, you know a thing about that one. The dark web of action figures where we've heard some news of the past. A few years in a row, the Ali, the Shawn Michaels, we kind of caught wind before Mattel. Mattel, kudos to them. They got it on lockdown. Nobody knew this was coming until today, and that's always fun. I always enjoy that a little bit more than leak stuff. I've said that before. I'll say it again. I say it in my day job. I say it in the action figure world as well. But this was officially announced here today, and we're going to break it down. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to give some thoughts on this as well. Maybe some thoughts you have, maybe some thoughts you do not have on this one here. But it was broken by Forbes, of all things. What are we doing? Is that Steve Forbes? Didn't he run for president like a decade ago, 20 years ago? What is time? Once again, I'm not exactly sure. But Steve Forbes and Forbes magazine, I don't think he owns them anymore. Maybe he never did, but I thought there was a relation there. That's neither here nor there. Forbes magazine, though, I remember that around my house. My dad would read Forbes when I was a kid. Riveting reading, I'm sure. But apparently I should give Forbes another chance because they're breaking wrestling figure news. Who'd have thought that would be a go-to source for that? But kudos to Mattel. Obviously, Mattel wants the Rolling Stones, the billboards, the glamours, maybe glamour. I'm not exact. Cosmopolitan could be. Maybe we'll get future announcements over there. But they did break the news of this 3-pack here. And this is going to make a lot of people happy with this 3-pack. This is the birth of rock and wrestling. In a lot of ways, changed wrestling history forever. This is a dynamite pack. Whether or not it sells real well, whether or not this is what the people want, we're going to get into. But we're going to talk about it right here, and we're going to read it. I'm going to read the copyright that Mattel put out for this on June 16, 1984. So it's an interesting one because it doesn't really line up on an anniversary, a 40th anniversary, or anything like that. It's just kind of out there. And we'll get to that. But on the June 16th, 1984 episode of Piper's Pit would go down in history as the start of something huge. The rock and wrestling connection. The rock and roll connection is what it says. Roddy Piper interviewed pop star Cyndi Lauper, Captain Lou Albano, Mario to some, crashed the conversation and chaos ensued, as it always does when the good captain enters the building. It was the start of an epic era of collaboration between music video makers and WWE superstars, which launched WWE into the cultural mainstream and led to the creation of WrestleMania. We're paying tribute to this iconic moment just in time for San Diego Comic-Con with this throwback figure set. It is a 3-pack, includes the first ever Cyndi Lauper figure. That's very important here. Also includes Captain Lou and Roddy Piper, 6.5-inch scale figures, 25 points of articulation, all figures made with True Effects technology for lifelike face sculpts and deco detail. Lauper comes with an interchangeable head and 2 extra pairs of hands. Piper comes with extra 2 pair of hands. Albano comes with 1 extra pair of hands. Set includes soft goods, clothing, and gear. Premium window box packaging designed to resemble 1980s era TV sets. So a lot to take in right there. It will go on sale the 23rd of July, which of course is right in the heart of San Diego Comic-Con, as we do know. So we know where that's coming from. And it sounds like an $80 price point on this bad boy here. So you'd kind of do the math of $25, $50, $75 maybe retail for those 3 at full-on retail. So you're paying a little bit more there, but you're getting the fancy box, the fancy packaging. You're getting the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. So we kind of know the jive there. So $80 when you break it down does not feel terrible to me. You guys chime in the comments down below. But a very interesting press release, a very interesting thing going to Forbes. But once again, they want to get as much news out there. They want to make as big a splash ever. And this is pretty big news because Cyndi Lauper, obviously involved in wrestling, but also involved in, of course, music. It's a big part of this whole thing. Cindy's still touring. I think she just had her farewell tour, if I'm not mistaken. But we know, Todd, nobody goes away forever. My dad, remember, there's a perfect example. He retired. He came back like 2 years ago, and then he retired again. But maybe he'll come back. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'll be seeing him soon. So maybe more on that in the future, too. But Cyndi Lauper, I would say in this day and age, maybe not the hugest star, but in the 80s, as a kid from the 80s. Now, this is before my wrestling time. I'm not that old, Todd McFarlane. This is probably your heyday. Maybe, maybe not. This is before my time, but the power of VHS and DVDs, I got to see all this stuff later on. But Cyndi Lauper's a huge thing. So Cyndi Lauper does have a fan base. I don't know how big it is. It's definitely, I think we could all agree, not as big as it was in the 80s. But she does have a fan base, and those fans will buy this that would normally not buy wrestling figures. Now, is there a big enough fan base to carry over to carry this one? My gut says no, because you got to kind of break it down. Okay, I'm a Cyndi Lauper fan. Am I a Cyndi Lauper fan that would take that extra step to actually buy an action figure? Am I that fan that would buy an action figure but take that extra step that wants Captain Lou and Roddy Piper? That could be a stretch right there. So it'd be interesting to see how that goes, but maybe there's a possibility there's a bunch of Cyndi Lauper fans out there. They buy this and they sell the other figures. Maybe that's a possibility. We'll see if that happens as well. But I don't know. She did go into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I think, was it this year or last year, if I'm not mistaken? So there was a little bit of pub there. My gut does tell me that she will be going into the WWE Hall of Fame possibly next year. I think that kind of feels like this is all kind of part of a Legends deal or a one-off kind of thing. It feels that way to me. Obviously, WWE would have to sign off on this. So I have a kind of a feeling there might be something there. Where there's smoke, there's fire, as they say. I don't know if there's meat on the bone for more Cyndi Lauper stuff. I honestly don't know how well she would sell at retail. That's why I think this set works very well, because it is for the diehards. It's a collector's piece. It's more limited run than your traditional Walmart Target stuff. This probably does work. That being said, we've seen the last couple of years with the Muhammad Ali. John Cena went pretty good last year, but Muhammad Ali, the Shawn Michaels before it, that even showed up at some Raw stores. Will the fan base for WWE Elites pick this one up? I think of younger fan bases. Now, it's wild. Like I said, this is before my time, and I'm an old man, Todd McFarlane. I'm an old man. Where's my walker? But there's a lot younger collectors out there that collect action figures and wrestling figures we're talking about here. Would they want a Cyndi Lauper? Do they have any connection to Cyndi Lauper and any connection to this at this point? It always reminds me of music ways. It's wild. The Beatles are a huge deal. Obviously, way before my time, once again. But as a kid growing up, the Beatles music was there. You liked it. Everybody enjoyed it, everything. I look at my kids. They know some of the music, but they could care less. Now, I know there's some kids that are still hardcore, but as the years go on, people forget, and they're not as big as they once were. Hulk Hogan, another decade or two, it's going to be like how when I was a kid, I viewed Lou Thez. That's how people are going to be viewing Hulk Hogan. That's just the fact of things. I don't hear people driving down in their car bumping Bach or Tchaikovsky or any of that kind of stuff. It's like it's passed on. Is that where this is now? I don't know. It's unique. It's different. There's Piper. There's Albano fans. There's obviously Cyndi Lauper fans. But are there enough to carry this one to propel it where Mattel hopes it does? Will this be an automatic sellout? My gut says no. Will this be available for 2 years later like Muhammad Ali? I don't think so. I think Mattel is smart enough here to say, we got to dial in the units. And it does not say limited to 3,000, 5,000, 10,000. It doesn't say any of that kind of stuff. So there's really no telling where this one's going to land. But my gut tells me they're not going to make a ton of these because they don't want this sitting around for a decade later. No company does. After a certain point, it becomes a liability on your books. They want that stuff turning and burning with everything else. So going to be very interested to see where it ends up going with all this kind of stuff. But I found it very interesting to see Cyndi Lauper. And somebody in my comments the other day said, are we ever going to get a Cyndi Lauper? And they were requesting one in the Superstars line. I'm like, I don't think there's any chance that we'd ever get a Cyndi Lauper in the Superstars line. But then maybe, who knows? But will this be the only Cyndi Lauper figure? As of right now, I kind of feel like it would be the only one. But who knows? If Mattel has her available, maybe they give a retro one to go with that WrestleMania figures we've had of Mr. T and Ali and Hogan, etc. Do we get that? Do we get her in the Superstars line? Do we get another Elite from... She definitely had different appearances and different looks they could go after. I just don't know if Cyndi Lauper would sell as well as my girl Sabrina Carpenter. Of course, Sabrina and I go way back to the Girl Meets World days, so we're pretty thick as thieves in a lot of things. You know how that goes. So I don't know how well Cyndi will sell. It's going to be very interesting, this pack, more so than the Ali. And I said it from the get-go. I didn't think Ali would sell very well, and that worked out. I was surprised how Shawn didn't sell as well as I thought he would, and I was a little surprised how quick John Cena sold out. Now, he went up for sale multiple times, but he, all intents and purposes, sold out. But it was the year of John Cena. It was the retirement year. There was a lot of hubbub around that. This doesn't have an anniversary. This doesn't have anything around it. Would have been great if this was coming off the Hall of Fame. If she was inducted this year in the Hall of Fame, I think that could have catapulted that somewhere. Not the case there, though. But let's dive into this set. Enough business hat. I did wear my Roddy Piper inspired outfit for this video here today, because you know me, I'm a Piper guy. I love a little Roddy Piper. But an interesting one, and I do really think Cyndi is the star of this one here. You guys chime in the comments below. But let's dive into this one. Let's start with the packaging. Very cool. The first time I saw this image, I thought of the packaging of the TV. I immediately thought of course, the He-Man set from 2-3 years ago. Todd, fact check that one. There was the box set of all the He-Mans from the cartoon appearances over the years. I thought that was a very cool box set. This gives me some of those vibes as well. We all remember, if you were a kid in the 80s, even into the 90s, going to your grandparents' house, or even your parents, maybe, depending, seeing these old TVs with the turners on them. And a lot of times it was slave labor for children. My uncles and aunts got that more than I did, but it was, hey, get up and go turn it. Your parents would be sitting in a recliner, go up and turn the channel. And you had like 7 channels back then or whatever. Luckily, I was there as a little kid to the introduction of cable, so I got a little bit more. We had remotes at that time. But looks very good. It's got kind of the wood grain pattern to it. It's got the dials. It's got the stickers on the side of the TV. Looks like it could be in some frat boy's college dormitory or something. I like the packaging goes all the way around like a TV. So this wouldn't be bad to have on display just in the box. And I almost wonder if a lot of people will display this mint on box because of that. The albino, I always keep wanting to say albino. The albino, that all white Captain Lou, but albino and Piper, not a ton of meat on the bone for the hardcore collectors like you and me, of course. But Cyndi will be an interesting one. But I can see a lot of people leaving this mint on card because of the packaging design. But diving into it, let's go to Captain Lou first. Captain Lou, basically a straight up re-release to the Legends figure we had at Target. Let's say it was a year plus ago at this point. What is time? Not a lot of meat right there. It is basically the same figure we got before. I'm not sure if there's any differences. Chime in if you know of any. No undershirt on this Captain Lou, so a little less in the accessory department. Makes this a very easy one to put in the pack. They didn't have to reinvent anything. It's getting the most out of your molds here. It's saving money, and we're going to get to that too as well. Roddy Piper, we've seen this body, we've seen this head, we've seen this kilt. The Seinfeld puffy shirt is brand new, if I'm not mistaken, so there is some newness right there. But as a whole, we've seen the hands before, of course. There's a lot of reuse with this Piper. Not as much as Captain Lou, but we do got a lot of reuse with the Piper. So 2 figures, very heavy reuse, and then we get to Cyndi Lauper. Now, I'm sure we've seen this body. It could be an old Sensational Sherry body. It could be a new female body. I'm sure this body will be used somewhere in it, but we get new heads, and we get 2 different heads for this one here. So you know there's a lot of extra investment in that compared to Captain Lou. We get the extra hands with her as well. Then you get the soft goods, the skirt and all that. So a very interesting Cyndi Lauper, from what I can see from these pictures, hasn't been at the table yet. Looks very nice, looks very good. I don't have any problems with this. Once again, I'm not a huge Cyndi Lauper guy. I'm not a Cyndi Lauper guy at all. Girls, I know they want to have fun, Todd, but then they do when we were around for sure. But I think this is cool. It's for a moment in time. But you could tell a lot of the payments is going to Cyndi. A lot of the funding for this is Cyndi, on top of probably the contract to get Cyndi signed for a Legends deal or whatever they've signed her to. A lot of that money is going to Cyndi Lauper. Can they get their return on the investment? That's going to be the key on this one. I don't anticipate this to be a day one sellout. I think it'll last the weekend. I don't know. It all depends how many they made. And then once again, they're not telling us how many. And then you got the $80 price point. How many people will step up for this? If they already have Pipers that are similar, if they have Captain Lou's that are similar, are they willing to pay $80 for Cyndi Lauper? That's the $1 million question. And where's Ted DiBiase when we need him? But it's interesting. Cyndi, definitely the star of the show, but does she have enough star power here in 2026 to take it to the next level? I don't know. My gut reaction, I will be picking this up, obviously. I think it is fun. I think it's a good choice for an exclusive because I don't think this would sell very well as a Walmart or Target 3-pack. I just don't think it would work out very well. I think this is the time to do it. You get some pub from Forbes and things like that to create some stuff. You're going to have people that go to San Diego Comic-Con that'll buy this just because they're at the Comic-Con, even if they don't collect wrestling. They're here trying to get some rare figures, exclusive figures, so you'll have some of that. I think it's the best place for it. I think it just comes down to, like everything, follow the money. What is the quantities on these? How many are being made? That's going to be the $1 million question. If they're only making 5,000 of them, it should be pretty good. But if they made 10, 15, 20, we could be in some serious hangover on this one and could be part of Mattel Creations future sale where you get it at 50% off or something like that. So time will tell, but how will it do at $80? That's the $1 million question. But an interesting set, there's no doubt about it. Be very interested to hear your thoughts on this one. If you grew up in the era, maybe this is all in for you, but I could see if you were born in the late 90s, you were born in the 2000s, does this have any interest for you at all? Maybe you're a wrestling historian. I don't know. Tell me in the comments once again. You made it this far. Don't forget to like the videos, a lot of channel videos here, Todd. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to both my YouTube channels. 2 channels with content every single day to keep you busy. Appreciate the support. Patreon, YouTube channel memberships for even more content. Sir Paul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and The Kyle Peterson Show. Available every single week is The Kyle Peterson Show podcast, every single Tuesday with videocast on YouTube. So for a little toy news business hat San Diego Comic-Con 2026 discussion video, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?